President Cyril Ramaphosa has again emphasized that the Israel bombardment on Gaza amounts to genocide. The ANC leader also touched on Benjamin Netanyahu's statement, saying, as a leader of Israel, he has been leading a push to stop the idea of a two-state solution. Ramaphosa was briefing the media after ANC officials met with parties supporting Palestinians. And our international affairs editor, Sophie Mokoena, joins us now. Sophie, good evening to you and welcome. You've been watching this very closely for us. As I said in the intro, Benjamin Netanyahu statement about stopping the two-state solution, raising eyebrows not only in South Africa but around the world. What did the president say?
Well, the president said he has noted the remarks by the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, this weekend. He said that he has been working hard to ensure that the issue of the two-state solution is not implemented. And therefore, many people are saying if he has made such utterances, it means that there's no prospect for peace talks in that region. But perhaps let's take a listen at what the president had to say on this matter.
We've heard what Benjamin Netanyahu has said about working hard to prevent a two-state solution. A two-state solution is a globally accepted solution for the problems that have been existing between Israel and Palestine. The United Nations has articulated its view in that regard, and the African National Congress as well, and many other organizations.
Sophie, he also had a strong statement on what's unfolding before our eyes in Gaza.
Yes, indeed. He has again emphasized that what's happening in Gaza is a genocide. I mean, I counted a number of times where he uttered a word genocide many times. And you could see in terms of body language and how he was emphasizing this word genocide, that he really is perhaps angry in terms of what's happening in the Middle East currently. And he also pointed out that the sad thing is that these women and children, majority of those who have been killed. But he also pointed out that in the same vein, they do condemn what happened on the 7th of October when the Israelis were attacked by Hamas. But he said this has now gone beyond perhaps a country that is trying to seek justice. It is a genocide. Let's take a listen.
What is unfolding now in Gaza is beyond being unjust. It is genocidal, and that is why we are dubbing it as a genocide against a people and a collective punishment against innocent people. And it is for this reason that we have called for a ceasefire.
What did he say, Sophie, about the parliamentary motion that was brought by the EFF and then later amended by the ANC on Israel?
You know, people are saying that it's unlikely that South Africa will implement the motion, particularly in relation to cutting ties with Israel. But when you read that motion, I think what we are missing is that the motion was amended. And it speaks to that must happen until such time there's peace and the two sides have agreed on a ceasefire and a way forward. And therefore, perhaps the South African government is hoping that we will arrive at that moment. And he pointed out that they've noted the parliamentary process, but also emphasizing that they didn't just note the parliamentary process. They are looking at this matter, and therefore, which changes the whole scenario. And the president also emphasizing that when he met the South African Jewish Board of Deputies and also the South African Zionist Organization, there were distortions in terms of what came out of the meeting. And I think it was around this matter of whether South African government will act on the parliamentary motion. And much as it might be very difficult, government cannot ignore what Parliament said. This is a different arm of state. But secondly, he is the President of the Republic because he was elected by Parliament and he was deployed by his party, and his party amended the motion, and therefore you can't just dismiss that motion. Let's take a listen.
It's a full month since our National Assembly took that decision. Yes, indeed, it is so. And as I said in my earlier statement, we have noted, not only noted, but we are examining precisely what the National Assembly has put forward. We are government, and as government, we have to take into account a variety of issues, both diplomatic, political, as well as a broad range of relationship issues. And so that has been noted, and we are going to be giving close attention, as I said, to what the National Assembly has decided.
Giving a close attention, but also he pointed out, Iman, that he is going to meet the Jews in South Africa who are sympathetic to the Palestinians, and therefore he is saying that he is going to interact with many different interest groups based on this issue. And he also pointed out that when he met the South African Jewish Board of Deputies and the South African Zionist Organization, he met them in his capacity as the head of state. But with the Palestinians, he met them in his capacity as the ANC president, and that is no surprise because you know that the relations between ANC and the Palestinians is very, very strong, as he did even evoke Madiba's words in relation to the struggle of the Palestinian. We'll bring you that full report later.
Thanks, Sophie. We look forward to that. That's Sophie Mokoena, our international editor.